Hello. Let's see. Hoping everything sounds all right. Hold on. 1 second. I'm gonna fix one thing, and then we're gonna get started here. Actually, hold on. Sorry, I have to have my screen. Give me 1 second. All right, check. All right, check. All right. I think my mic sounds good, so let me know if I'm peaking or not. All right. I'm gonna turn the music down just a tad. Actually, hold on. All right. Should be good to go here. All right, we have a little bit to get to before we get into this game because we got some injuries to talk about, which are never good when it comes to the Bulls because we are cursed. We are a cursed fan base because we don't get nice things because players are always injured for some reason. My mic is, hold on, sorry, my mic stand just, 1 sec, I'm so sorry. My mic stand literally just fell off the desk. All right, hold on. I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna mute my mic because this is too loud. Give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so a couple of things we gotta get to before we kind of get into maybe some few things that we're maybe looking for. But first off, welcome in. I appreciate y'all being here. I was not really planning on doing this, but then a couple things came up, so I'm not sure about the post game stream of how long it's gonna be. And because post game stream is probably not gonna be as long, I wanted to kind of like give you time here. So we are doing a pregame stream just to make sure we always are. I always want to at least like give you guys like about 2 hours, no matter what. So pregame stream just a little bit, and then obviously we will have a post game stream. It's not gonna be as long as the last one, obviously. Some things are coming up here for me, unfortunately. But appreciate y'all being here. If you have not already, please hit the like button. Helps me out a ton. Glad to see you all here and ready to watch Bulls basketball tonight. And hopefully your tennis are all set up because I know a lot of people had a bunch of issues with that. But let's talk about a couple things that we need to get through here. So first off, if you're not aware, and I'm sure you guys are, but if you're not aware, I would assume it's gonna be starting for Kobe White tonight. Kobe White is not gonna play because he has a sore groin. We heard about this yesterday. Not exactly thrilled to hear about it. I don't know about you guys, but groin injuries always scare me. I'm always concerned whenever I hear a groin injury be like put out there, like, hey, yeah, this person suffered a groin injury, and the other reason why is because like we don't really ever know how serious it is. Some people really think, oh no, it's nothing, but then it ends up being something bigger. So I'm gonna hope that Kobe White's able to play. I believe the Bulls play on Monday, so I want to see him play on Monday because I actually think that a lot of what we need to see a lot of these guys play together, and hopefully build a chemistry during the preseason, instead of having to try to build a chemistry in the middle of the season. Not saying that we're trying to win anything, but I'm just saying that we need to kind of see Giddey and White kind of figure it out, if you know what I mean. So it's gonna suck to see that Kobe White's not gonna play tonight, and I would assume we'll be starting in place of him. Jalen Smith is also not gonna play tonight. I thought Jalen Smith had a kind of an underrated game against the Cavs on Tuesday. If you didn't see kind of like a box score of what Jalen Smith did, he had a double-double. And I thought he honestly did pretty well. He just he wasn't really the headline because Buzelis had such a great game. Kobe White has such a great game. So Jalen Smith really didn't get much talk, but I think he honestly played really well. So I'm a little sad to see that he's not playing. So you can see here double-double in 17 minutes. So good overall numbers. He has a knee soreness thing, so he's also setting as precaution. He did go through shoot around though, which is kind of a good sign. So I'm not as concerned with Jalen Smith. I I know that he was kind of injured. I think it was his knee with the Pacers last year, which is why he missed some games. But um, I'm not that concerned. I'm more concerned about Kobe because if Kobe's not going to play, that's just not good. That's kind of like a worst case scenario for the Bulls if Kobe doesn't play or he misses a bunch of games this year. So I hope that this is not that big of an issue with his groin, but that's just always my fear. It's just a groin injury is a lot worse than it seems initially, and then one game turns into 3 games, turns into 7 games, and suddenly Kobe can't start the opener. But I'm not going to think too far ahead. Taylor Horton-Tucker also had a sore calf. He is going to be playing today. Horton-Tucker is fighting to get the last roster spot. He is fighting alongside Bitsum. It seems like it's just between those two, honestly. Maybe Javon Carter might be kind of fighting for his spot as well because he didn't play in the first preseason game, so we'll see. But some housekeeping just to kind of get through with that, and yeah. Sorry, hold on. Music's coming back. Yeah, not thrilled though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not thrilled to see this in the second game of the preseason. After also the Bulls just had a 3-day break. Like they played Tuesday, they were off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Obviously they're playing today. And obviously the Bulls practice in those days, but it's just not good to see. So I'm gonna hope that this does not continue throughout training camp. But this is just kind of some of the housekeeping we had to get through before we start talking about some other stuff. If you're wondering about Lonzo Ball, Lonzo Ball is not going to play today, but he did suddenly announce, like, hey, he's probably going to play in preseason, and he is looking to play in 2 of the last 3 games of preseason. So the Bulls have 3 games next week for preseason. That will be the end of their preseason. And Lonzo has come out on a podcast, and it seems like also reporters are saying and confirming what he said, that he is going to be playing in 2 of the last 3 games of the preseason. We don't know which 2 games. We don't know which games he picked out. My guess is that he's going to play the next game, sit then the following, and then the last preseason game he will play. But if you're wondering about any sort of update with Lonzo, he is not playing today. He was held out a shoot around today, but it was not due to any sort of setback. He said that Donovan kind of said this was like a normal plan. Lonzo did have some knee soreness today. I'm not shocked to hear that though. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not shocked to hear that Lonzo had any sort of knee soreness today. Like it makes sense. I think he is expected to have some sort of soreness in his knee. So we'll see what happens. I think on Monday. I have to double check that though. So yeah, some of the housekeeping, and then I'm gonna get to chat here because I did see Rob is here. So let me just double check. Yeah. So the Bulls play on Monday in Milwaukee. They then play, I believe, Wednesday. Yeah, they play Wednesday against the Timberwolves, and then they're gonna play Friday against the Cavs again. So, 2 of these 3 days, we're going to see Lonzo play. So, get ready for it. Rob, hope we see Sanogo, but versus Eddie at times going to be interesting. Yeah, I'm interested in seeing what the Bulls actually do tonight, because obviously Jalen Smith is the backup center. Vooch is obviously playing. So, yeah, I don't really know what the plan is going to be tonight for, like, backup center, or who's going to run the center spot in the second unit. Vooch really didn't play like that many minutes in the first half against the Cavs, so I expect to kind of see just an increase in Vooch's minutes tonight. Also just an increase of all the starters' minutes tonight. I know Levine and P. Will did not play in the second half. I expect them to play in the second half tonight. So yeah, I am interested to see what the Bulls do. My guess is probably that you're gonna see Donovan probably go small ball initially. So Patrick Williams at the 5. Maybe we're gonna see Buzelis at the 5 because that's something that Billy Donovan would do. Not saying it's smart, but can't rule that out when it comes to Billy Donovan. Other than that, though, then I do want to see Sanogo as well. I know Sanogo really didn't get much time in the first preseason game. I don't even know if he played, honestly. Did he even play? I'm misremembering now. Yeah, he played 2 minutes, so that's obviously nothing. So, yeah, Sanogo needs to get some time tonight just to kind of see how he looks. Sanogo's on a 2-way contract, so I'm not necessarily expecting him to do anything spectacular, but it is just good to see, just see how he does out there. And who knows? Maybe in the middle of the year, Sanogo might get an NBA contract. But yeah, we're gonna probably see Sanogo, and then I'm gonna probably guess that some of the other guys, like I'm gonna assume we see Torrey Craig tonight because I know Torrey Craig didn't play the last game. So we're gonna see him, and then maybe some of the other guys fighting for on the last spot, like EJ Liddell, is probably a good idea to maybe play tonight if he's available, which I'm not entirely sure. Maybe Liddell Lofton play and they play some small ball. Billy trying to find a small ball lineup that works for versus bench team. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's the idea tonight. Because Jalen Smith is out. Billy is definitely going to be just trying to experiment like who fits kind of where, and see if they could maybe handle like a second unit like center position. So again, maybe it's Torrey Craig, maybe it's Patrick Williams, maybe it's Zealous, who knows? But yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what's going to happen with that. Because Smith, I'm pretty high on the Jalen Smith signing. I think that you're gonna maybe see that he does like kind of split minutes with Vooch, like kind of almost maybe not 50-50, but maybe it's more 60-40 this year. We actually saw Jalen Smith finish the first half in the game against the Cavs. So Donovan was trying him out with kind of like most of the starters. Giddey wasn't in the lineup though, but we saw him finish the first half off with Smith at center. So I'm like really high on him, and I think the Bulls are also kind of high on him. Without him though, you really see where the Bulls center depth just kind of, shrinks, right? It's just Vooch and then fill-ins. So I'll be interested to see who's going to be kind of the first guy Billy Donovan goes to. The other guy I just completely forgot about, and I honestly think that he's probably like most of it, like he's going to definitely be seen at this position, but it's Julian Phillips. Because I think Phillips actually is one of the better rim protectors on this team, and Donovan might just be trusting him. I know he's thin, but he has that length. So maybe Phillips is going to be a guy that we see at the center position tonight. Just as a fill-in and just kind of experiment. So yeah. Bitsum maybe plays more because Kobe's out. That is also true. Yeah. So I expect Bitsum to play more. I expect I just blanked. I'm so sorry. I don't know if we're going to see Javon Carter necessarily, but I'm interested to see if the Bulls do play him tonight. I expect to see THT more, even though he kind of played a lot of minutes. If Horton Tucker is able to go and like seems healthy enough, and I know he's available, but he did have a calf issue. I think that we're going to see Horton Tucker play a lot more today and see if he can like handle the ball. Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see that. I would love to see Phillips, P-Will, Mata small ball front court. I would also like to see that. Maybe Billy goes with it. My only concern, obviously, is just shooting with that that lineup. That lineup just, P-Will is a good shooter if he actually shoots it. We don't know about Buzelis and Phillips really yet. And I know that both of them have been working on their three. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Small ball front court if they do that. More Duarte. Maybe we see more Duarte. I actually don't think the Bulls are really too high on Duarte after what I saw the first game. And I unfortunately just think Duarte is just so logjammed behind everybody that he just might not really get a chance. And I think the Bulls are really, they rather try to see like with who their young guys are instead of Duarte, but maybe we see him tonight a little bit more because he got some minutes in the first game, but it just, it wasn't much. So, yeah. A lot of experimentation is going to happen tonight because obviously we have some key guys missing. No Kobe White, no Jalen Smith, so we're going to see some different lineups out here for sure, and some experimentation from Donovan. So I'm interested to see. I'm not happy that these guys are injured and are sitting out. I'm not happy about that, but I am happy to see some more experimentation because I think it's necessary with this team. Because again, we're not supposed to be winning anything this year. At least that's what I think. I don't know about the rest of the team. One more thing we need to kind of talk about before we do get into the game tonight. So, not as long of a pregame stream here, but we are going to be seeing Io start. So that means that the starting lineup is going to be, assuming that there's no other changes, Giddey, Dosunmu, Levine. So the 3-guard tandem there. Patrick Williams assuming at the 4, and then Vucevic at the 5. It's just going to be interesting to see how that Giddey, Dosunmu, and Levine tandem kind of works out together, right? Because we're trying to kind of find that like chemistry between all these guys. And I will say that at least kind of what we saw in the first half, and I only go off this because Levine didn't play in the second half, but when Giddey was out there with Kobe and Io, it didn't look too great. we then also saw a little bit because Kobe came out early, but we did see the Giddey, Io, Levine lineup run early in the first quarter, and that also didn't look the best. So I'm just kind of interested to see how they do tonight, all things considered. I think the best 3 guard lineup that we saw in the first game, and again, it's just the first preseason game, so nothing to really go off of, but it was the Kobe, Io, Levine lineup, and then, but I'll also add to the fact that Jalen Smith was also in that lineup, so that was also a key factor to it. Not saying that they played amazing, but they seem to be more in sync, and they should be more in sync because they've played with each other much longer compared to obviously Giddey not playing with anybody before. So this is going to be just like a nice test just to kind of see how that 3 guard lineup works together tonight. I'm not expecting anything spectacular, but I'm just hoping that they've just find a little bit more cohesion. And the biggest thing that I need to see tonight from specifically Josh Giddey is that he needs to be pushing the ball no matter what lineup's out there. I think in the first game, specifically in the first half, he was not pushing the tempo enough. He needs to be pushing the tempo no matter who's out there. I think Io has, I mean, so far, obviously, in the first preseason game, he looked really good. I just have more faith in him overall to perform to expectations. With Giddey, I'm not exactly sure where we're at yet. And I think that Giddey needs to, no matter who's out there, he needs to be pushing the ball much quicker than we saw in the first game. So this just has to be better, in my opinion, with Giddey. And I don't care who's out there. Like, I know Kobe's one of the better shooters, but these guys have to also be willing to take the 3-point shot whenever it's available. So, yes, you've lost probably or arguably your best 3-point shooter, besides obviously Zach, but you got to be shooting the threes and keeping the tempo up in this lineup, no matter who's out there. So, I think the space is gonna be a little bit smaller because Kobe's not there. But that being said, it doesn't mean you can slow down. You got to push tempo no matter what, and that just needs to improve moving forward. So I'm hoping to see a little bit more of that tonight. And yeah, we'll see what kind of happens. Yeah. Any other thoughts you guys want to talk about before we actually head into the game soon here? Because it is now 9 minutes until I will end stream. So last minute thoughts. Did you guys get your antenna set up? Because I know a lot of people did not have it ready for the first preseason game, and it was a whole thing. And if you don't have your antenna set up, then I'm gonna suggest to you to do something that I'm not gonna fully say because I'm not gonna be held responsible for your actions. But do some research and go find a way to watch this Bulls game in any way possible. If you don't have your antenna set up, or if you don't have DirecTV or whatever, because that's the new solution apparently, which is ridiculous. But yeah, make sure you guys have your antenna set up tonight because I know a lot of people did not have it set up for the first game, and it was not good overall. A lot of upset people in the Chicago area that they couldn't get any sort of reception from the antennas that we they couldn't get the game in any sort of fashion because they didn't have an antenna or it wasn't set up properly. So yeah, you covered all the bases. I think I covered most of it. Again, I wasn't planning on this, but then we got info about what happened with Kobe, Jalen Smith, and THT. Some more info about Lonzo, so I wanted to go ahead and do this. And again, shorter post-game stream tonight, but there will be a post-game stream after this game. So still, if you are around after the game and want to come watch some post-game content, I will be here doing similar things. So yeah, make sure that you if you want to check in on the post-game, it will be happening about 9:30 p.m. Central Time, whenever the game ends. So around there, the Bulls, my post-game stream will happen. So at least an hour again. By the way, Bulls are on plus CH 62-3. Actually, Rob, that is very good to know. I appreciate that a lot. So yeah, if you do have the antenna set up and you're getting the Chicago reception, remember that the Chicago Sports Network has 2 channels. So if you remember, it is 62-2 and 62-3. 62-3 is the plus channel, and the Bulls are going to be on that tonight. So that is a very good reminder from Rob in chat that if you don't see it on 62-2, it's because it's on 62-3. So make sure you have your channel set to the correct channel, or TV set to the correct channel. Oh yeah, the THD injury. Maybe he doesn't play as much at capturing. Yeah, I think because he is still fighting for the roster spot, I think he's gonna play a decent amount, but he might not play as much. Yeah. So yeah, something just to look at. But I think we're gonna see him a lot because he still has to fight for that last roster spot. As much as we want to say that he had like a pretty good game, which I thought he had a pretty good game against Cleveland. He surprised me a lot because he had some like dribble moves. I was like, oh, I didn't know he had that in his bag, and he made some layups in traffic. He did go 4 for 11 though, which is obviously not great. So I think he's probably looking to do a little bit better in terms of his shooting percentage, and I think he is truly trying to fight for that last roster spot, because why wouldn't he, right? And I think that the Bulls are going to give him every shot, as they should. That's how it's supposed to work. Clocks on the main channel at 9. I don't know why they did it. The team plays at 7. Typically, it plays on main. Weird stuff from channel. I honestly, Rob, I'm with you. I don't know what's going to happen at any point when it comes to this stuff anymore. They make the programs. I don't. They make their decisions. I just kind of let them do it, and I try to figure out the BS of it all. I think that's just kind of how all of us are right now when it comes to the Chicago Sports Network, where we're all just kind of like, we don't know what's happening. We just kind of we try to figure it out on the fly, and it's really annoying, but here we are. Yeah, I'm not happy, by the way. I'm sure that a lot of you guys, I don't know if how many of you are YouTube TV owners, but I'm so upset about this whole thing, and it's really upsetting that YouTube TV and Chicago Sports Network can't figure out some sort of agreement tonight. But I think that as much as I just want to blame Chicago Sports Network because it's a Jerry Reinsdorf owned business, it could also be on YouTube TV. However, I'm just going to still blame Chicago Sports Network because it seems like they don't really fully get it. And the fact that they don't necessarily have a streaming option yet, unless you have DirecTV, to stream the games is ridiculous. I think it's genuinely the stupidest thing in the world. So I hope that they figure something out, but I don't expect them to because, again, Jerry Reinsdorf owned org. They're not making smart decisions. Yeah. So, yeah. Real quick though, before we do go ahead and end stream here. First off, I want to say thank you for tuning into pregame stream. So it'll be ending in about 3 minutes here, so I can set up to record the game. Want to say again one more time, thank you for coming to pregame. I appreciate the likes, appreciate the support. It means a ton to me. One last thing to kind of look at is maybe the Bulls decided to kind of actually go away from the 3-guard lineup tonight. I know that with the starting lineup's going to have Giddey, White, and Levine tonight. So you're going to start with the 3-guard lineup. But the first substitution, honestly, it could be Buzelis coming off the bench and taking out either Levine, or Giddey, right? So suddenly then you're going to have like kind of like a more traditional lineup out there where you have 2 forwards in Williams and Buzelis, and then 2 guards out there with Booch. So be on the lookout for that tonight as well. Maybe Billy Donovan goes away from the 3-guard lineups that he loves and always plays tonight, which will be interesting to look at. And I won't lie, I really want to see how Buzelis kind of does more with the starting unit. We got to see a little bit tonight. We got this, or not tonight, against the Cavs. We got to see like a little bit of Buzelis out there with some of the starters, but we didn't see a ton of it. And I think after that first game from Buzelis and how well he played and how confident he looked and understood the tempo of the game, that I think he might be ready for like a bigger challenge tonight. So I think that we should hope that Buzelis gets some time in the starting unit, because I think that's a good little test for Buzelis and company. So looking forward to it. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and end the pregame stream here. Game time. Let's Sonoga go. Yeah, I hope or I hope that means Sonoga, or maybe you just meant let's go, Rob. Yeah, I'm hoping to see a lot of people play tonight. They're not aware that they were doing way too late for negotiating. Oh, you're talking about Chicago Sports Network. Yeah, I don't really know who was wrong, but I'm always just gonna blame the Reinsdorf owned organization. That's how I always do things, because That's the tradition. Unfortunately, they're always late to things because they are never on time and they always want to think it's the '90s for some reason. um, I've learned that very quickly, covering both the White Sox and the Bulls. Um, yeah, not fun. All right, go ahead and end stream here. So I will see you guys at about 9:30 p.m. Central Time after the game ends for a post game stream. Will have the game recorded. And make sure again it is on 62-3 tonight. So make sure that you are on the right channel if you're gonna watch the Bulls game tonight. All right, appreciate the support, y'all. If you have not already, please hit the like button. Helps me out a ton. I truly do appreciate it. I'll see y'all in about 2.5 hours. Peace.